You come in really good, but when you hit, your push out to show.
Yes, sir. I would ask the court, go ahead and close the record at this time on my case. My case is for Mr. Swenson, Mr. Howell, and my understanding is Mr. Van Aaron would like the same thing on his cases.
Yes, your cases.
And Judge, shall we still stick to the schedule as far as February 5th for submitting briefs and findings of fact and conclusion?
We could submit a copy.
Okay.
Sooner is fine.
Judge, with the court permission, may be excused.
Yes, your
Thank you.
counsel, what's your name? Would you introduce yourself and your client, please?
Orly TAITZ, and I represent the five guys. Mr. David Farrar, who is here in the court, Mr. C.L. Class, overall, Mr. Hubbard, and Mr. Oriol.
Counsel, before you start, I'm going to 2 hours of access. Well, if you can do it a little bit faster.
What's your name? Spell your last name.
David Farrar, F-A-R-R-A-R.
Mr. Farrar, you can even spell it,
I do.
Are you registered voter in the state of Georgia?
Yes, ma'am.
That's it. Your excuse shows a book of records from Indonesia showing his last name in the school book of records listed as Soetoro and nationality Indonesian, not U.S. citizen.
I don't need to see the video. That's all I need.
That's it. Stop.
Okay.
Okay. Can we go back a little bit?
Counsel, I don't think that's relevant.
Okay. Well, in order for one, first of all, in order for one to be on the ballot in the state of Georgia, he needs to be under an age that is legally his. Can you go a little bit?
Okay, you can argue that to me, but I
Okay,
don't
let's
need
go
to
to
see
the
the
next.
video.
Okay, it states that he was registered in the book of records in the school in Indonesia where he studied, which was a CC school in Jakarta, Indonesia, and the last name Soedora. Okay? I will not go into detail. Okay, let's stop here. I will not go into detail into the issue of what national born citizen is because we have limited time. A prior counsel already stated this. I am
Counsel, please address the court, not
I
the
apologize.
audience.
I will be using the same precedent of minor Happersett, and I would also state that since the Constitution was adopted, the legal treatise that was commonly used by the framers of that Constitution was Emerita, a well-known.
Counsel, are you arguing or are you
It's my opening statement.
testifying?
That's my opening statement.
Oh,
Emerita, who was a well-known scholar and constitutionalist and a diplomat, stating that natural-born citizen, and it was a legal treatise that existed at the time the Constitution was adopted, stating that natural-born citizen is one born in the country, parents who are citizens of the country. The first justice of the Supreme Court of the United States, John Jay, well-known letter that was included in the letter, stated to George Washington, permitting to him that it was important for the Union chief to be a natural-born citizen, not to have a foreigner. Lastly, there was a question in regards to the 14th Amendment. And John Reagan, who was the framer of the 14th Amendment, in the discussions in Congress relating to the adoption of the 14th Amendment, specifically stated, a natural-born citizen is one who is born in the country to parents who don't owe allegiance to other sovereignties. No, when Mr. Obama was born, his father was a citizen, actually a British citizen, because in 1961, Kenya was part of.
So let me stop you. Would you save your argument for the closing and let me hear from your witnesses? Your second witness, please. Who's your-
Okay, Mr. Strong?
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. I do, so what we got?
Mr. Strong, do you recognize this document?
My name is Christopher Earl Strunk, and I'm from New York. I'd like to vote in Georgia, but it's not possible this year.
I'm just asking, do you recognize this document?
Yes, that is a portion of a letter which I received from the attorney for the Department of State, U.S. Department of State.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. Further. So, okay, so now, what is this document? Is that the passport record of Stanley Ann Dunham, Mr. Obama's mother? Yes?
This is a renewal form,
Okay.
taking him off of her passport,
Yes.
and
What is the last name that is listed there? Can you please read the full last name for Mr. Obama on his mother's passport record?
Subarkah, Soebarkah.
So in his mother's passport records, Mr. Obama is listed under last name Soebarkah, according to the records that you personally received from the State Department.
I can't draw a conclusion on that.
Okay, but that's what is written there, Soebarkah, right?
Yes, she wanted that expunged from her record,
Passport.
which we never got.
Okay, thank you,
Which
Mr.
dog-ate us.
Thank you, Mr. Strang. Next, it's gonna be, and we're gonna include, we're gonna submit into evidence the records, freedom of information, request and response that was received by Mr. Strang from the State Department, showing that in his mother's records, Mr. Obama was listed
Okay,
under.
absolutely. You don't need to tell me.
Okay, next, witness is Susan Daniels, please.
Good morning. Ms. Daniels, would you like to say to the court what is your occupation?
I'm a state licensed private investigator in Ohio
How many years have you been a licensed investigator?
since March of 1995.
Did you testify in court?
Yes.
Did you also testify before grand juries as an investigator?
Yes.
What did you investigate the identification record for Mr. Obama?
I was hired to look into his background, and the first thing I found was a social security number for him that was issued in the state of Connecticut between years of 1977 and 79. And
During that time, Mr. Obama would have been 15, 16 years old. Where did he reside? Did he reside in the state of Connecticut at the age of 15 or 16?
no,
Where did he reside?
Hawaii.
Now,
And social security numbers are issued in the state that you live in when you apply for them.
okay, so what was your suspicion? What was your professional what was your understanding as a professional investigator? What did it mean?
I've looked at thousands of social security numbers, and I immediately knew it was fraudulent.
Thank you. Well, let's continue. Let's go higher. And I would like you to look at the next page. 1 second. More. Keep going. So, okay, so this is, what was the number, the social security number actually that was used?
042684425.
Now, do the first 3 digits of social security number signify the state?
Yes,
So 042 is what state?
is Connecticut. 040 to 049 is Connecticut.
Ms. Daniels, I would like to point to those numbers at the bottom.
Right.
Dates of birth associated with social security number. And we see the first date of birth is 1890. And for Mr. Barack Obama, which means that if Mr. Barack Obama, or Mr. Barack Hussein Obama, was born in 1890, he would have been 100.
Yeah, so are you testifying or are you asking a question?
What would be his age?
I can't figure, I don't have enough fingers. But I have never, in all the years I've worked, I've never seen anything like this. I've seen where, like, the bottom two numbers where the American style and the foreign style appear, but never a number like 1890. And I believe that the person that originally got the social security number was born in 1890.
So what you're saying is that it was a stolen social security
Chancellor,
number?
don't leave the witness.
I believe that.
You can't answer that.
Are you-
You cannot answer
Okay.
that.
What is your understanding? What does it mean?
I believe from the beginning it was fraudulent.
Yes. So, and then you see 8461 and 4861. What does that mean?
That's just the two different styles of showing his birth certificate, or his birth date. He was actually born on August 4th, 1961.
Now, did you also check Mr. Obama's phone records?
First, I ran the social security number to check addresses. And the same social security number came up with addresses for him in Massachusetts, in Illinois, and in Washington, D.C.
And
And along with those records were a phone number, and it was always the same phone number, and occasionally the year where it showed his date of birth, it said 1890. I subsequently then checked the phone records for this phone number and found the same thing. It would show intermittently the birth date instead of August 4th, 1961, it said 1890.
did you check, did you double check the social security numbers like before and after this one? From what state were those social security numbers?
I got copies from the Social Security Administration for the Social Security number ending in 24, which is the number immediately before his, and 29. And I got the actual records, including the handwritten application for the number, because both those people are deceased. And it showed that those were both issued in March 1977, when he would have been 15.
So, it is your testimony that the social security number that Mr. Barack Obama is using is a number that was issued to somebody who resided in the state of
That's
Connecticut
what I believe.
in 1977.
That's what I believe.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Daniels. At this point, I would like to introduce into evidence plaintiff's exhibit number 2, affidavit of Ms. Susan Daniels with the attached documents. Next, my third. Next, fourth witness. It's going to be Mr. Felicito Papa.